Assalamu alaikum, beautiful people. So, I have amazing news. There's this event coming up, and inshallah, I'm going to go. Like, I get to go, and I'm so happy. I don't want to mention the name of the event now, so I don't ruin the vlog. But if you can already guess the event, then please, you can state it. But if you don't know the event I'm talking about, maybe you don't follow my other social medias, because I know this vlog is going to come after the event. And I know I'm going to keep posting because of how hyper I am right now. Oh my god. So basically, I've been trying to go to this event since last year. Last year I missed it because of school, and then this year inshallah I'm going to go. So I'm going to vlog for you guys because I love you guys so much, and also because I know how it is so painful when I missed it, so you guys can see the event through my lens. Does that make sense? Also, there is no light and I'm literally using torch in this video. It's so annoying. Well, this is very beautiful. This is a very beautiful announcement. I just finished sewing this ribbon to this, and I want to know if you guys understand what this ribbon represents. Like, immediately you see it, what comes to your mind? Okay, you guys, today's outfit. Tara. Today is Friday, so we had to give the Iya Allergy / Oya Allergy Oga wife vibe. You get. We've arrived at train station. Look at them. And then there's me at the back dragging my box. I know in today's world it is easy to feel disconnected from our faith and from our community. I think these type of programs are beautiful, are like one of the beautiful ways to reignite your iman and strengthen your faith in Allah, and to find inspiration in a community of Muslims. Being in spaces like this reminds us that we're not alone in our journey. We're part of a large ummah, and a large number of people that are here to find knowledge and that are here to live according to the guidance of Allah. So you see, it is not only about attending these events, listening to these lectures, listening to YouTube videos. No, it's actually about applying the things you learn from these events. Sumayya, I need to tell myself this so many times, because that is when you will grow, and that is when the ummah will grow. Outfit of the day.
ورأوا العذاب وتقطعت بهم الأسباب وقال الذين اتبعوا لو أن لنا كرة فنتبرأ منهم.
That Muslims are hypocrites. And at the same time, Muslims that are being killed are being portrayed as the oppressors. Unfortunately, because of globalization today, you clearly see that Muslims have been relegated to the third class global citizens, or even the last class global citizens. So this is one of the global changes we are witnessing, to the extent that there is no way you can understand Islam effectively and the actions and inactions of Muslims by just watching international media, because of the injustice against Islam and because of the negative impact of globalization on our faith, on our religion, and at the same time on our culture.
To learn to develop a strong faith for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have tawakkul. Trust Allah, trust Al-Jabbar, trust Al-Razzaq, trust Al-Aziz, trust Al-Latif. That's one thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Figure it out or stress over it. Instead, Allah says, وَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Trust Allah. Quran 33 verse 48. Let us not wait for change to come from outside. Let us be the change makers. Let us be the ones who inspire, who drive the community forward with vision, courage, and justice. Because indeed, the future of the Ummah is not something we wait for. It is something we create together, starting now. Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah guide us in our efforts for making a better Ummah.
Whatever you introduce of good, it is for your own self, and you will find it with Allah خيرا وأعظم أجرا. Definitely good and has a greater reward.
For the One Ummah program, the ticketing is actually into different categories. There was the premium ticket, which could admit you into all the halls, and obviously you know what premium means.
everything of their own is different. They had one sitting in like VIP seat in front and stuff like that. Then there was the bumper ticket. That ticket would allow you into all the halls in the day. The program was segmented into different halls, and then in each hall, a speaker is talking at that time. So the bumper ticket can allow you to jump from one hall to another. Then there's a regular ticket. You have to choose the hall to go to, which is difficult because you love all the speakers, but then you have to like choose one and sacrifice another. So I had the regular ticket. So this video is based on the speakers I chose and what I listened to. There are other lectures that were giving in different halls. So this video is based on the halls I went to. So basically, for more of videos and everything, just check out the One Ummah page themselves.
زكاها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. If the greatest man ever walked the earth, the greatest guide, the first human being ever to enter Jannah, was in the depths of the night, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tazkiyah in his sujood. My Lord, آتِ نفسي تقواها. Grant myself its piety and righteousness. Make me righteous. وزكيها أنت خير من زكاها. My Lord, purify myself, purify my heart. You are indeed the best one to do so. أنت وليها مولاها. If this is the case, what about me and you? Definitely you are.
You guys won't believe what just happened. Oh my god. So I was just passing by, and then the Sheikhs, Sheikh Muhammad Salah, and like the other one, I would mention his name. I don't know how to pronounce it. Came to pass, and they were like passing beside me. I wanted to video, but then my sister now called me. Oh my god.
In fact, it does. من ترك شيئا لله أبدله الله خيرا منه. Now,
We have a dream, how we believe, one day they'll be free. Children of Gaza, the Ummah is with you, the world is with you too. We'll never leave you. From the evil to the hate, to the lies they create, Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. From the evil to the hate, to the lies they create, Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
ولئن سألتهم من نزل من السماء ماء فيحيي به الأرض بعد موتها إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يعقلون والفجر وليال عشر
I have a thing for mosques with soft carpet, and this mosque is perfect because I also have to make deliveries.
It's very important for us to be able to set boundaries for, number one, our families. I'm pretty sure I'm hitting something here that some people are not very comfortable with. But our families need to know and understand that sometimes we are unavailable for everybody at every particular time. Okay? But when we are fully and 100% available for them.
So now that we're back home, it's time for wine and dine. You guys should not. I'm very hungry because apart from just the small things you buy in stall, I haven't eaten like proper food. Okay, I like food.
The major lessons, I learned many lessons. Like I learned many things from the program, but these are a few things I want to share with you guys in this video. First of all, ithar. I think I'm pronouncing it well. It's the act of prioritizing some like other people over yourself. It's the act of being selfless basically. And Sheikh Muhammad Salah emphasized on how ithar is important and how Allah loves people that practice ithar, people that are selfless. وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. That was like the ayah he used as example, and how Allah loves those type of people. You shouldn't like starve yourself because you're trying to help somebody, but he also gave like an example. When they sat for the panel, it was they were talking about social media and globalization and stuff like that. And Sheikh Ali Pantami said this. This is something that we all know, but it's something that we need to be consistently reminded of. He said, live your life on social media like an extension of your personal life. That's if you're somebody that is on social media. You shouldn't do something that you wouldn't do in real life, basically. He said, we're still going to account for our time on social media. So, okay, we are talking about time management, we're talking about this or that. Is it okay for Muslims to be posting this type of videos and stuff like that? And then that's what he said. Always note, it is not about how we came into the world, but about how we live. There was a panel after Asr prayer, and they spoke about the future of work. And this woman said this. She was like, focus on your excellence, focus on delivering the job, whatever job you're doing. And then she was explaining basically about working from home. How when you're working from home, you need to set a lot of barriers. I used to imagine this in my head. I don't know whether a lot of ladies would like relate with me on this. With the way the world is going right now, I used to imagine me not working. Like, obviously, I don't even want to work for anybody. I want to be self-employed. So I used to imagine me owning a business and then me doing some other things from home. And in my head, obviously, I'm fantasizing, so it sounds fancy. I'm just like, okay, I'll do the chores, I'll do this, I'll take care of my kids. Then when it's time for work, I'll work and stuff like that. But when she was explaining it, I realized that it was like a lot more difficult than I thought, and it is a lot deeper than I think it is. Because she was like, you have to try to set barriers, and your family needs to know that these are your barriers because you're working at home. Everybody just feels like you are at home. They're not even going to concentrate on how difficult whatever job you're doing is. The fact that you're at home, anybody can bombard you with anything and be like, okay, since you're at home, help me do this, help me do that. And they're invading your own work time. You get, I don't know whether you understand what I'm trying to drive at. But in this panel too, they emphasized on studying the biography of pious predecessors and how extremely important it is. You see, they were saying there was the time they were talking about like time management. If you look at the stories of the Sahabas, the pious predecessors before us, imagine how difficult their life was at that time. Obviously, there was no any form of technology, but then they had time to spend with their families, they had time to spend with their spouses. At the same time, they'd always be around Rasulullah to learn from him, to memorize Quran, and they owned businesses. Some of them were like the rich people at that time. Some of them would go for charity causes. When it's time for war, they would go for war. They found a way to balance their everyday life, basically. So if this is not balance, I don't know what is.
I'm just looking at those that still haven't subscribed. After I've released all this information, you're still not going to subscribe? Huh? Click the subscribe button, people. And share it to your friends. Don't be stingy.
Ina video na. I'm collecting wellness da kai kin da rana. Ni ma shine ai wellness da safe kin da rana.
Zan ji wayannan duka zuwa nan.
Then yakin, bude yakin magani, which sheikh is there?
See, all these panel get importance. Now you go decide which one is.
We have to miss one. Because if you want to start going to all, I have to listen to Ammar.
So which one I will?
Sometimes the Quran, for example, in another verse would say He has not created jinn and men illa liya'budun, except that they would do ibadah. The word ibadah comes from the word abd, which means the servant, which goes back to the whole issue of, again, serving Allah.
And if you know your scandals and your celebrity gossip, if you know all of that stuff, fact of the matter is, those couples typically have far worse lives than the average couples out there.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This combination, Muftimeng and Wael Ibrahim, favorite.
Prepared to have a premarital course. They will say, who the hell are you? You know? How do you think I don't know how to get married? Because for them, what is marriage? And in reality, what is marriage? They don't know. Many men and women do not even know why they are getting married. And they don't even know what to expect
So therefore, one of the solutions we can come up with is to say the imams, the parents, we all need to take it very seriously to almost impose on those who want to get married to say, please go and do the course. It should be an online course. There are online courses actually.
Maybe she wanted to see something different. So don't imitate Mufti. Make immediately. Go say to your wife, I miss you, unless you know what you want to hear.
So the last time I told my wife I miss you, she said, you mean you don't have someone to wash your clothes?
Surah to Tawbah, verse 71. Go and read it again. That believing men and women are awliya, supporting friends of one another. It is very rare that we'll talk about marriage, that the conversation will not start tilting towards women are suffering and men are suffering them.
Live your life with someone, you have to keep that constantly in mind. When the man is sweating to make money and the woman is sweating to carry that baby.
So he says, you have my honor and guarantee as your brother. Come to Islam and you shall be forgiven and honored. And that letter, subhanAllah, after 7 years of nastiness and harshness, that letter was what finally caused Khalid's heart to melt. And he realized somebody with such integrity must be coming from the paradigm of truth. Results are not in my hands. Allah is musabbib al-asbab. Allah is the one who generates results, not me. So how can Allah judge me based upon what is in His hand? Allah is not going to judge me based upon the result. Allah will judge me based upon my effort. And once you understand this, then you can never be a failure in the eyes of Allah. Unless you...
Yoruba name they gave me yesterday, but
his name is Adewale.
Adewale. Allahu Akbar. Ladies and gentlemen, Ammar al-Shukri.
These doubts and these thoughts from shaitan is that very quickly they can get out of control. And so we see, for example, in our Sharia that when it comes to matters of worship, there are clear boundaries that have been set to not give way to these doubts to get out of hand. So for example, when it comes to making...
So, the statement of Uthman ibn Affan is a very beautiful statement. And he says, لو سلمت القلوب ما شبعت من كلام الله. Says that if our hearts were clean, they wouldn't have their fill from the words of Allah. And so the Quran becomes a form of spiritual diagnosis. Just ask yourself, how do I feel when I read the Quran? How do I feel when I hear the Quran? If I feel resistance and unease to the Quran, that's an indication that I have some stuff to work on. Because the Quran is it's kitabun aziz. The Quran is a very dignified book.
There's this particular moment I love where one woman stood up and asked Sheikh Yasir Qadi about how her children can like be like her because her children look up about how her children can be like him because her children look up to him so much. So Sheikh Yasir Qadi first of all was like, please they shouldn't see him as role model. Obviously the Prophet ﷺ should be our role model because he's like the perfect human being. So Sheikh Yasir Qadi shared a bit of his personal story about how he grew up. His father was like an immigrant and his father did a lot and all that. Basically, what he was trying to say is we should build ourselves because in the end our children are going to learn from the little daily things we do. And for now, maybe for our own case, it to be like your younger siblings at home or your nephews and nieces if you don't have children already. But if you're married and you have children, then obviously it applies that way too. Like, you should begin with yourself. It's not about Islamic schools. It's not about the best of Islamiyas. Obviously, they'll learn the advanced hadith, the books and everything there. But what are the little things you do daily that your kids see and emulate? Things like praying Jam'i with them when you're at home as the father, maybe with your sons.
It could be little things like setting rules to read Quran for 30 minutes after Fajr daily or something like that.
كم جاد من فضله قبل السؤال وكم أعطى وأغنى بمحض الجود والكرم